Hi there, Amanda from Radiant Star Yoga with your bonus video from the 5-day challenge. Well done for completing the challenge, and here is your gift. It's all the movements that we learn through the challenge, but done whilst lying down. So you'll need a nice, comfortable spot to lie down, a hardish surface, so a carpeted floor or a yoga mat on a harder surface, whatever's comfortable for you. And speaking of comfort, if when you're lying down you find that your chin's sticking up, you might want to put something just under your head. So find a way of lying and being comfortable. As you'll see in the video, at one point I need something under my left elbow and left shoulder because it won't happily release down onto the floor at the moment. Got a little bit of a twinge going off here. So look after yourself, be comfortable, have fun. You might want to watch the video first and then lie down and follow my voice. And my plan is, so look out for this, that I'll be also separating out the audio so you can have an MP3 of just the movement section so that you could just listen to the voice and do the movements eventually as well. Okay, have fun exploring, and I'll see you in another video. Bye for now. So bringing yourself onto the mat, onto the floor, lying on your back with your legs released out, arms out by your side. Just give yourself a moment to settle into place, taking in a couple of deep breaths to let the whole body sink and release. And we'll begin by taking the awareness down into the heels, noticing what part of the heels make contact with the floor. Maybe noticing the direction the toes are pointing. And as you bring your awareness up to the calves, can you sense that where the calves make contact with the floor is in alignment with where the back of the heels make contact? Noticing if there is space at the back of the thighs or if they actually touch the floor. And then bringing the awareness into the buttocks, maybe noticing if they rest equally into the mat or if one side's slightly heavier than the other. And just noticing, not correcting or judging. Become aware of the lower back. Is there space underneath the lower back? If so, how much? And can you sense the backs of the ribs making contact with the floor? The shoulder blades, do they rest gently, equally? Notice how much the shoulders are able to release down into the floor and how the arms are positioned, how your brain's naturally positioned your arms. And whether the palms face upwards, inwards, downwards, just noticing. Finally, becoming aware of the back of the neck and the back of the head. And sensing the forehead and the chin to sense whether they feel parallel or if one's higher than the other. Sensing the left ear and the right ear. Is there the same amount of space between the left ear and the floor and the right ear and the floor? And then taking a whole sense of the body, a whole sense of the back of the body, and beginning to be aware as a whole, where is soft and release, where might feel slightly tight. And then let's make a start on the first movement, arch and flatten. So we're going to slide the feet up into a standing position, so the feet are flat on the floor, rolling first one knee and then the other knee out to the side, sliding the foot into place, and bringing the feet just underneath the hip bones, checking they're parallel as much as it feels okay, and then having the feet just as wide as the hip bones. First, sensing the breath, so that as you inhale, can you sense the breath going down towards the bottom of the abdomen? And as you exhale, sensing that resting, letting go, non-doing. Inhaling and gently exhaling. So the next time you're ready to inhale, with that breath, roll the pelvis so the weight goes down in towards the tailbone and the back arches gently off the floor. Exhale and let those back muscles soften and release, melting back towards the mat. Take a rest. And then once more, inhale and arch. So the lower back muscles contract, front of the body lengthens. Exhale, soften and melt back to neutral. Switch off. Pause. Inhale, arch. Sense the lengthening through the abdomen. Exhale, release, melt, and pause. So you can do that a couple more times at your own pace. Sensing the rocking of the pelvis, slight weight into the tailbone. You might notice that your head moves along as well, so that each time you inhale and arch, the chin might roll inwards towards the chest. When you're ready, take a pause. And we're going to do the opposite way, so that on the exhale, we sink the belly down and feel a flattening of the back onto the mat. So take an inhale, and then as you exhale, draw the sternum and the pubic bone towards each other by sinking the belly down. As you inhale, let everything melt back to neutral. Gentle inhale to start, and then on the exhale, feel those back muscles flattening and lengthening into the mat as the belly sinks. Inhale your way back to neutral and pause. So we're going to put those two movements together. Inhaling and arching, pelvic rolls forwards, head rolls forwards. Exhaling and flattening, tailbone gently peeling off the floor. Maybe the chin lifts a little. And pausing at neutral. So you're melting your way back to neutral. Let's do that again. Inhale and arch. Exhale and begin to release the back, melt to neutral. Carry on the movement so the belly sinks, the front shortens. Inhale your way back to neutral and pause. Nice. One more time, inhale and arch. Exhale and flatten. And release. And let go. Let the legs release. Slide one leg and then the other leg away. Take a couple of resting breaths and just notice, how does the body feel now? What can you sense along the back of the body now? Does anything feel different to before the movement? Does the back of the lower back feel closer to the floor? Do the buttocks feel different? Backs of the heels? What's changed? So when you're ready, slide the feet back up into standing, knees pointing up to the ceiling, feet hips width distance apart. And we're going to play with the arch and curl. This is the movement we did on day 5. So sliding the hands, interlacing the fingers behind the back of the head. And notice here if the elbows will comfortably release to the floor, and if not, like myself here, using something like a cushion or something to support so that they're not left hanging. So we're once more going to practice the breathing and arching and exhaling gently and melting back to neutral. Noticing how it feels differently now with the hands interlaced behind the head. So as you breathe in and arch, can you sense a gentle pressing in with your shoulder blades and elbows just ever so slightly? And exhaling, releasing that gentle pressure back to neutral. So this time let's add the flatten. Breathing in, arching, and as you begin to exhale, draw the elbows together, back flattens, and allow the front of the body to shorten, drawing the head slightly off the floor. Inhale as you release through the front and relax back down onto the mat, letting go of the elbows. Good, let's go through that movement again. Inhaling and arching, pressing gently into the elbows. Exhaling, we flatten the back, sink the belly in, draw the elbows together and use the front of the body shortening to draw the upper part of the body up away from the floor. Inhale, melt back, release. So have another go in your own time and just check that as you exhale, you're using the space just below the ribs, the muscles there, to shorten down towards the pubic bone to lift the head. And the head really only has to lift a small amount. You don't have to lift very far off the floor. What you can also do is do it with one hand behind the head and use the other hand at the top of the abdominals to check in to see, are those muscles shortening and drawing the front of your body downwards. So in your own time, practicing inhaling and arching, exhaling and curling inwards. Remember to switch off after each repetition. The back shortens as the front lengthens, and the back lengthens as the front shortens. Good. When you finish the last repetition, let the arms release out, let the legs release out, switch everything off, and notice what's different. So now we're going to go into the final part of the movement sequence, bringing the feet back up into standing as before, feet hips width distance apart. We're going to prepare for the movement called the flower. So with the arms just a little bit away from the body, begin to roll the whole of the arm by rolling the hands inwards towards the body and then outwards. Begin to roll the hands and the arms just to sense what space is available in the front and the back of the shoulders. Let the arms rest. And let's remind ourselves of that basic arch and flatten. Inhaling, arching. Exhaling, sinking the belly down. Taking a couple of repetitions to remind the soma. And then back to neutral. We're going to begin with the exhale and flatten and rolling the arms inwards so the backs of the hands are right against the side of the hips. Exhaling and arching, and keep the arms rolling outwards just to wherever is comfortable for them to roll to, and then roll everything back to neutral. So this is our basic flower movement. Take an inhale to start, and then as you exhale, roll the arms inwards, shoulders lift. Inhale and open up, arching, rolling the arms out. And release to neutral. And taking your awareness into the same movement, but noticing what's happening in the head, how as you roll inwards and everything sucks inwards, how the head rolls up so the chin sticks up a little, and as you open the flower out, back arches, chin tucks in. Soften to neutral. You can also add the legs into this movement so that as you inhale to begin and then exhale, sinking down with the belly, with the front of the body, the knees can come in together. And then as you lengthen through the front, roll the arms out, the legs can open out, the knees can float outwards, and roll back to center. Going into the exhale, releasing out. Final time, switch off. Let the legs go long. Let the arms relax. And now notice, how does your body feel different on the outside? What do you sense is different on the inside? Do the shoulders rest differently into the floor? Do the arms rest differently by your side? What parts of the backs of the legs are now touching the mat? How does your head rest into the mat? And then we're going to prepare to come back out of these movements, begin moving the body however it wants to move. Maybe it's moving feet, hands, legs, slow, gentle movements to integrate the new learnings into the body. Even maybe a whole body yawn to just fully let go. And in your own time, roll over to the side and bring yourself up to seated. Give yourself time to sense the upright spine, maybe coming to standing when you're ready. Thank you so much for joining me today, and we look forward to seeing you either on our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, or in our next video.